Hi, it's Romy, Gemini. Welcome to my channel. This is your May 2021 soul story, and happy solar returns to those of you that are May born. So if you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, then this is a general reading, and hopefully we're going to give you some insights and messages that are going to be valuable as you move through the next few weeks. Really, this month I feel is about you acknowledging that there's no more performing, there's no more passing off as things being okay, there's no more pretending. It's really a time when I see you being exceptionally brave and eliminating from your life anything that feels toxic, anything that feels like it has held you in some net, some sense of this web where you are ready, more than ready actually, to now give yourself permission to want more, to desire more, to have more, to be more. And we open up this reading with the energy of the devil, and I think what I really want you to take from this, Gemini, is that there is a choice to make through the course of May. And decisions can feel completely impossible until we just acknowledge and we let them happen and we commit to them. So once we make the decision, there is a sense of relief that will allow us to be released from the bondage of what that devil is representing. But in the kind of incubation and the waiting period and the sort of anticipation of what we think will happen once we make that decision, we can cause ourselves all sorts of nonsense. And I guess this is a reminder to you, right? Because we have Mercury moving into your sign on the 3rd of the month. Venus moves into Gemini on the 8th. Of course, the Sun is coming into Gemini on the 20th. We also have Mercury retrograde in Gemini on the 29th. So there's a prolonged cycle where your ruling planet is going to be with you all the way through to June 22nd. And that can bring an overstimulation and an overwhelm of information, ideas, of mental chatter, and that can be exceptionally valuable in progressing and getting things done and really moving with agility, with flexibility. But at the same time, especially during a retrograde, it has the capacity for us to get all bound up and caught up in storylines and energies that are not ours. Now, what we need to be reminded about is that we're coming back into eclipse season. Full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, your opposing sign. It's very likely for many of you, Gemini, that through the course of May, you are going to come face to face, you are going to have that mirror reflection of those situations, experiences, and even people that represent this devil in your life, you know? It's where you feel overly controlled, it's where you feel triggered the most. And it's almost like if you were able to make decisions on your terms, it's not to say that you would always choose the easy road, right? You would be okay with saying, yes, I take the challenge, I'll scale the mountain, I'll go for it. But if it is imposed upon you, if you are told, this is how you have to do it, this is the only way, it's that level of outside, like the vice that clamps down, that tries to take away that freedom, it tries to take away that ability for you to stand in your own sovereign power. That's where we see you having some of this mental kind of anxiety that kind of has the capacity to get you all bound up. So the devil has a lot to teach us, but we are going to be coming up against him and what he represents in our pathway this month. But like we said, no more performing, no more pretending. This is a time when you're going to be really decisive. You are going to find yourself through Taurus season in that 12th house energy of release, of letting go, of allowing the healing to come in with this magnification, of different aspects of your life, and this opening up of a dialogue, whether it be with yourself or whether it be with others, that says, this is not how I want it to be. This is not the life that I'm, prepared to accept. This is not the direction I want to go in. And because these eclipse energies come in and they tend to bring about sharp, sudden changes, dramatic endings, radical trajectory shifts for us, they can all of a sudden like illuminate what was previously something that felt taboo or that we couldn't talk about, or that was that sort of shadow aspect of something, and bring it right into the harsh light of day. And then we get to really look at it and observe it. And here's the thing, if we observe it, then we can accept it. Once we've accepted it, then we get to release it. And then you understand why you're letting it go. And that just feels like a really important message as you move through the course of this month, Gemini. So the new moon in Taurus coming in on the 11th, beautiful conversation that it's going to be in with the planet of Pluto, bringing about some profound transformation by way of setting intention for what you want to bring in for your new beginning. It's also aligning really sweetly with Neptune. So here we have this beautiful creative vision opening up for you, and this curiosity and this beautiful sense of inspiration of wanting to connect with new people, new places, new ideas. And all of that is coming about because of the release and the acknowledgement of what has been holding you back. And, you know, perhaps for some of you that will be partly how you've held yourself back, but also what has represented, you know, this really heavy, dense, toxic, addictive set of circumstances. And there's something exceptionally fated about the moment of realization for you this month and what comes directly after it. So literally, as you make the decision to say, okay, enough is enough, or, you know, I'm kicking this habit, or I'm letting go of this person, or I'm walking away from this, or I'm allowing something to break down, break up, break apart, then right at the back of it is this beautiful opportunity that's extraordinary, really, in terms of how it shows up at the exact moment. But that's the kind of vibrational energy of May. It's potent, it's powerful, it's expansive. It requires a tremendous amount of flexibility, which you have in, you know, in spades, Gemini. But you have to trust yourself, High Priestess. You have to trust yourself. This is not the month where you listen to too much of the outside chatter. And it's also a time when you have to get really crystal clear about when the ego is speaking and when spirit are speaking to you, when your higher self is giving you that message of come this way, or take heed here, or this is the impulse we want you to follow, and where the ego is trying to trap and lure you back. You know, the sense of false entrapment is going to be coming up really powerfully. But here you have this beautiful magnification, like you're being the detective, you know? This Page of Wands almost looks like the Sherlock Holmes. You're getting to the bottom, you're getting to the root of this, and you're going to clear it out. You're going to heal it and you're going to let it go. And then there's a beautiful sense of spiritual growth and evolution that comes in by way of that. Now on the 13th, just after that new moon, Jupiter moves into Pisces, co-ruler of this sign, beautifully at home here, delivering abundance and spiritual gifts and awareness and growth, and something that it feels like is going to pull back the curtains and let you step forward, front and center stage in your own life, because there's no more performing or pretending for what isn't what you want. So this is a time where I see you stepping up, and I see you choosing things on your terms, you know. And once the decision is made, then what feels impossible all of a sudden starts to become more realistic. It starts to give you the stepping stone, Page of Pentacles. It shows you where there's still things to learn, and that's okay, because you know what? You can learn as you go. You're perfectly adept at being able to figure that out. And in this month of May, Gemini, whether it be professionally or personally, in your business life, in your romantic relationships, with whatever is going on for you, there is this awareness of I can learn as I go. I don't need to sit and figure out every single detail of the plan. It's not where your strength lies. And it's not when all of this energy is coming into your sign where we want you to be. In fact, with all of the eclipse movement coming in, there's also just a sense of the ground is going to keep shifting beneath your feet. You can see that even though this is an earth sign, she's actually stood on the leaf of a flower here, you know, but she has her watering can. So there's a need to nourish, to give life to the aspects of your life that are starting to come into bloom. And I love that she's turned in the complete opposite direction from the devil here. So again, there's this movement away. You know, she's even dressed in white. There's a sense of this purity coming in here. Stripping back, simplifying, going back to your roots, going back to the things that matter to you. Surrounding yourself with things that feel like they are energizing and coming to life, and breathing more into that. Now she's barefoot, which also suggests to me there is a need for a lot of extra grounding. Now, of course, in Taurus season, it helps to deliver that for us. But I really think this is going to be exceptionally important to take heed of in the second part of the month as we come into your season. We've got Saturn moving retrograde on the 23rd and then Mercury on the 29th. Now, Saturn particularly, when these major personal planets station retrograde or direct, it can be a little bit upheavaling. And then of course Mercury going retrograde in your sign is going to mean that things feel a little bit like out of control, especially as we deal with that lunar eclipse. You know, that's going to be quite provocative for you. So make sure that you have in place, you know, the understanding and the awareness of what it's going to take to ground your energy and protect your energy from what might feel quite chaotic and quite wild by way of what's going on. Now, eclipse also delivers news, important news. I think for some of you, it'll also be the indication of where the bounty is coming, what you're letting go of. You know, we're working in that north-south node, and Sagittarius is in the final chapter of the cycle. So what happened June 5th? What happened December 14th last year? This is the kind of culmination point of understanding for you. And you can even like track it back to March 2011 through August 2012, because that's the last time we had this cycle of Gemini Sagittarius eclipse. So even in your life, you can think, what kind of changes did I go through? How did it change me following that period of time? I think it's going to be an exceptionally insightful month for you. But you're going to have to be really aware of like what's yours and what is other people's. And I think that's where the High Priestess is saying, like, keep a quiet, close counsel on some of the choices and decisions, what you're observing and what you're coming to terms with. Because it's like if it gets shared or put out there too quickly, there's the capacity for other people to want to get involved, jump on board, or give an opinion and kind of either mute or water down or just add too much fire into the mix that's going to start to cause some doubt or uncertainty and kind of pull you backwards into that energy that's not going to serve you and it's not right for you, okay? I think there's an awareness of what you want to learn, and that's not only about yourself, but it's also about how you can better yourself, how you can improve your relationships, how you can stay on track, and how you can allow yourself the permission to go after things that you want. You know, this is a profound period of change and transformation for you. And of course, Taurus season is about what we need to release and let go of. You've got the energy of death coming through here. You know, she's exposing exactly what is at the root and at the core of what's happening right here. You can see this beautiful butterfly sat on the flower. But she's aware that in order to allow this state of metamorphosis, of transition to take place in her life, she has to get like really almost down and dirty in the details of things. There's something that you're learning about yourself and your life through this month of May, Gemini, that is going to put you in a completely different vibrational energy moving forward. And I think that there is, like I said, a very fated quality to the exact timing of this. Now, death connects into the sign of Scorpio. We had that full moon in Scorpio in April. Depending on when you're watching this, it's not actually transpired yet because I'm recording early. But again, pay attention to what comes up around the revelations of that, because the energy is still into the first couple of weeks of May. And so what you're releasing and letting go of and what changes are coming in for you around that is going to be really important to address and pay attention to. but things are coming to a point of ending. And that's really what eclipses do for us. You know, they bring these amazing, exciting new beginnings, but also like sudden, powerful closure, you know, and your month of May is being dominated by that energy. But it can come in a very, very illuminating, insightful, and enlightening way if you allow it. Ten of Swords, just to really hammer the point home, yeah? But you're aware of this. You know, sometimes when eclipse energies come in, they shock and they surprise us. But I'm not seeing that with you. You're too away, like you're too observant. You know, you're going to see it coming. You're going to be, even if it's from your higher self, even if there's something that's sort of coming up from your subconscious that's giving you a heads up. This is about to change. This is about to happen. And let's just pay attention to actually what is, you know, beneath what she's showing here is everything in full bloom. The flora, you know, the beautiful floral aspect of all of this kind of rich blossoming of your own garden of possibility here. So even though there's a slight uncertainty, even though you feel like you have a lot of energies coming at you, even if you feel at times that there's almost a drain, it almost feels to me like a slight psychic drain. So it's just like, be really aware, like I said, of just protecting your energies through the course of this month. Just a lot of stimulating energies taking place. And what we can do with that is we can make new boundaries. We can start to decide the things that we are going to be creating on our terms moving forward. And I think there's an understanding that we also need to recognize that if we want to give, we need to learn more how we're going to receive. If we want to love, we need to learn how to be loved. And so there's this sense of balance that wants to come in May, so that as you step forth through the course of June and into the second half of this year, as it kind of marks that midpoint of what 2021 is really trying to deliver for you and help you and support you in, that you actually allow that balance to come through. And so I think May is also going to be very catalytic for you in that sense, Gemini, but you can really use that to your advantage, and allow yourself, Six of Wands, to be victorious in your quest for what you know is right for you. What you know is right for you. Now, this is a beautiful hummingbird taking the nectar from the flowers that you are watering. So let's look at it like this. When we let go, when we release the toxicity, we allow the change to happen, we listen to our own counsel, we start to water the things in our life that are meaningful and represent who we are and how we want to show up. We allow ourselves to be protected by energies that are trying to bring us down or on a lower vibration. We do things on our terms. What does it deliver? The sweetness, the nectar of life, the success that we're looking for, the recognition and the accomplishment that, you know, this has meaning, this has value, like I've made the right choice, I'm making the right choices. You have an opportunity here to take something that feels, even if it's just an idea, even if it's just a whisper of an inspiration, even if it's just a new meeting, something fated, something very opportunistic that comes in May, Gemini, I feel you can harness it, you can work the energy, and over the course of the next year, the next 18 months, this can deliver for you something really exceptional. There's a sustainability about things in Taurus season. So when things show up in Taurus energy, it wants us to look at it meaningfully. It wants us to take care of it. And I just have this sense with the Page of Pentacles, what you are creating, whether it is in the relationships in your life or what you're trying to do in business or with your health or just your life, you know, these are things that are showing up right now. You know, we're working with the highest expression of your destiny as we've got this North Node in your sign right now. We've said this repeatedly. You are making plans. You literally have the world in your hands right now. This full moon is illuminating, revealing to you, here's how we do it. Here's the way that we're going to go. and it's just got success and bounty written all over it. So you should start to get almost an indication of that bounty and where life wants to open up for you through the course of May. And be prepared, right, with these eclipses, that it certainly might not be in the direction or, you know, with the expectation of what you thought it was going to be, or perhaps who you thought it was going to be. But it's definitely showing up here, and it's coming in with a sense of sweetness. And look out for that Jupiter and Pisces energy as it really starts to deliver things for you that feels surreal. I actually have this sense of you feeling like, wow, this is completely surreal, what's just happened or is happening right now. It's almost like you're kind of observing your life from the outside in and going, is this actually just transforming before my very eyes? Like, that's how kind of fated the changes are that are coming in. And if you can surrender into it, which in all honesty, you know, the energy of death and the Ten of Swords is just saying there's nothing else that you can do but really surrender into the inevitability of what needs to close and end. Seven of Cups, you have the opportunity to transcend so much of what has held you back, get to this next level, awaken these new hopes, ideas, aspirations, you know, work with this beautiful Neptune energy. And remember, like I said, that new moon in Taurus, beautiful alignment with Neptune, really helping you to seed something in. Now, yes, there's an air of confusion that comes here, and that is, of course, going to happen with the retrograde in your sign. But it gives you the chance to review, to reflect, to go back, to return to what you've been through, acknowledge, decide on the changes that you want to make. The counsel and the wisdom that you'll receive by working with your higher self with that High Priestess energy is going to be everything, even if there are aspects of things that feel clouded or a little bit unsure. But it's too powerful a time for stagnancy. You know, everything is about rapid progress right now. And look, she's got the wand and she's literally picking out the star. Here, this is what I want. This is who I want. This is where I'm going. Like, this is the level of certainty that I have with you through the course of May. You've got absolutely in your eye. You've been the detective. You're Sherlock Holmes here. You're uncovering everything. If there's mysteries to be solved here, I'm going to go talk to Gemini, because Gemini's going to have it all figured out. Gemini's going to have it all figured out in May. And so you're going to be at the right place at the right time and really allowing where the universe wants to take you, so that you can gain the sweetness and the understanding of what that's going to deliver. Let's take a look and see how these flower medicine cards want to complement your reading. There's so many choices that are going to come up for you. You can't really get it wrong. And remember, don't sort of hold yourself in indecision because you feel that there's aspects of each one that kind of have a layer of complexity or impossibility to them. Just know that what is showing up right now is all about the deliverance of what's meant for you. Genuinely, what's meant for you. Camellia, devotion. Who do you want to devote to? Well, I think through the course of May, this is about a newfound devotion to the self. This is about bringing colour and life and richness and tending to all of those layers within your soul and giving them a fresh, like this watering, you know, just like a fresh evaluation, so that you can get really clear about the decisions that you're making sure that they're right for you. No more performing, no more pretending, no more passing off that this is okay, or that you'll compromise or you'll sacrifice. So we have the Priestess of Light Oracle cards right now. So let's take a look and see how these want to come up. That full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, you know, it's in your 7th house, Gemini. So big focus on relationships for some of you. And remember, full moons are going to bring a little drama. They're going to bring things to a point of completion and ultimate transformation. And maybe for some of you, it will be the ending, the breakup. But for others, it's like the closure of a chapter so that you can move on from what wasn't working and start out with a fresh new intention about how you want to live your life and how you want this relationship to be for you. Goodness, death and rebirth, darkness to light. Again, I mean, of course, you know, eclipses in and of themselves are that dance between the light and the shadow, aren't they? I mean, you have these beautiful Black Panthers in stealth mode here. And there is just something about this stealth mode, the High Priestess, the Page of Wands with this kind of Sherlock Holmes vibe. Like, I think you're really digging deep and you're doing it quietly. So even though there's all of this emphasis and focus around Gemini energy and the sociability and the connection, the conversation, and all of that's lit up beautifully through May and June for you, at the same time, beneath that, there's so much more going on beneath the surface that I think you're just quietly working away on and tending to, and doing in a way that's quite calculated. And I don't mean that negatively, I just mean it's very, very disciplined on your part as to where you're directing your energy, why you're doing it, and getting really clear about things. And maybe those retrogrades are going to help you to kind of figure that out and come to terms with it. But where there needs to be light shone on anything that isn't serving you or isn't right for you, isn't good for you, that's also going to be illuminated. You're in white. Remember, white is bringing in that sense of protection as well. You know, especially from a health perspective, it's like it has you in this really powerful protective energy. You've got your big cats protecting you here as well. So you're safe. There's this gorgeous tree roots behind you. It's like that strength. You know, the roots are exposed here. It's like you're showing your strength, but also the strength is being shown to you of what's happening in and around you at the moment. And perhaps you're going to need that in terms of some of the transition and the changes that you're going through. If you have some doubts, if you have some wobbles, if you have some uncertainty about the rapidness of change that's going to be coming in for you, yeah? So let's take a look at the astrology cards, see what wants to come through. Okay, so we have the second house, physical security, possessions, material values, and self-worth. Okay, I mean, the second house, of course, Venus ruled, and we're into Taurus season, which is also ruled by Venus and part of that second house. So it is an illumination of what you have accumulated in your life, and a very, very stark evaluation happening in May about what it means to you, where you've attached meaning previously and how that's changing. And that impacts on everything. It impacts on your love relationships, on your relationship to money, your relationship to abundance in all of its forms. You know, we're moving away from this emergency way of living, of this toxic way of like emotional roller coaster. This is about how we bring in more balance, because we now value and respect ourselves on such a higher level that we demand that what shows up for us is representative of that. But if that's the tack that we take, if that's how we want to approach things, then we have to accept that the universe is going to come in and say, okay, like, we're on board with this because we want you to grow and evolve, and we want more for you. We want you to receive everything that you are worthy of. But in the meantime, you have to let us take these people out of your pathway. You have to let us do that. And you might be surprised by some of the people that end up disappearing through the course of the next few weeks. But it's part of this process, this cathartic healing transition and transmutation. So Gemini, this is a general reading. I hope that you find it valuable. I think it's going to be a really exciting, very, very, very revolutionary month for you, very revolutionary next few weeks. If you want to join me for the extended version, what we're going to do is just talk for another 20 minutes or so. We'll go a little bit deeper, see what more messages we can pull out for you. I invite you to just think about a question right now that I might not have covered. It is a general reading, and we'll pull a couple of cards around that for you as well just now. You can find the links for the extended versions in the description box and the comment section underneath. And I just appreciate you showing up for the extended version. It's just a way to support my channel, so thank you very much. All right, so we're just going to clarify this main spread. So just beginning with this Devil. Okay, we got the Page of Cups. Somebody that has a silver tongue, very charming, coming in on that level of like really tempting for you. But I think maybe once bitten, twice shy, or you're just feeling a little bit unsure and uncertain for sure. You know, there is that weariness that comes in with a wounded warrior. We've got the energy of the Hermit coming through here as well. And we've got King of Swords showing up. Of course, air sign, representative of yourself. It might be a Aquarius or a Libra energy that you also may be dealing with through the course of this month. 10 of Pentacles, we've got family dynamics and, you know, really an emphasis around security coming in. Queen of Coins as well. Like this nice earth energy showing up for you. Could be Taurus, Capricorn or Virgo that you're dealing with here. Emperor. Like we said, choosing things on your terms is going to be a big focus for you. High Priestess and the Hierophant. That's like your two gurus, right? Beautiful combination of a team working for your best and highest good here. King of Coins. Here's this Devil again. Interesting. King of Cups. Showing two sides of themselves, or the situation having two very different sides. We'll go into that in a little bit more detail. So Page of Pentacles, we have 7 of Wands. Page of Swords. It's almost like coming out of the darkness into the light, isn't it? Just this death and rebirth energy as well, being kind of illuminated in a different way with that representation there. And then we've got the 3 of Cups coming in here. 6 of Wands. Another 7 of Cups coming up. Empress with that 6 of Wands. I love that for you. Ace of Cups, Ace of Coins, King of Wands. Okay, Gemini. Thank you so much for joining the May Soul Story. And if you're joining me for the extended, I look forward to continuing this. But otherwise, I'm going to leave it there. Have a great solar returns, and I'll connect with you again next month. Bye for now.